It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Puerto Rio Sol professional soccer player, Ashley Doizer. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional soccer?
I knew since I was 8 years old. At 8, I was also doing gymnastics, and I had a decision to make, either soccer or gymnastics, and I chose soccer. And from then on, I just knew I've always wanted to be a professional athlete. My heroes growing up were athletes such as Roger Staubach and Rocky Marciano, so OG athletes.
What was it like going to St. Mary's College?
St. Mary's College, I loved it. It was in San Antonio. The culture was amazing. I got one-on-one teaching. I'm a psychology major. I'm actually going to grad school for clinical psychology at SUGU, as well as the soccer environment. I'm still best friends with the girls that I graduated with. And even though we had adversities, it really showed our character and how to push through in sports and in life.
What was it like whenever you got to put on the St. Mary's jersey for the first time?
It was the best feeling ever. I was with my teammates. How we walk on the field, we run half field sprints, and then we all line up and they call your number. And as soon as they called my number, Ashley Doizer, number 2, and I ran to the line of my teammates, gave my teammates a high five, and just going to the half field and like waving at my friends, at my fans who were out in the stands with my family and everything. I was incredible to be able and be on the field and say hi to my family, my friends as they were out there. And actually, on my first game, I went on the wrong side. So that was kind of embarrassing, but it was a great game nonetheless.
That's so amazing. What were some of your accomplishments in soccer on the college level with St. Mary's?
With St. Mary's in my senior and junior season, we were going through a transition and change. And so we wasn't our best seasons, but I think I got an honorable mention, but nothing too crazy. I did start I started every game my senior year. So that was pretty cool.
Of course, coming out of college, what was it like getting into the professional soccer? And did you ever know that you wanted to get into international versus going the NWSL route?
So I graduated 2020, so right when the pandemic hit. I actually registered into the NWSL draft, and I got an invite to the Utah Royals at the time. They were now Kansas City, but they were the time at Utah Royals, so I got an invite to go to an open tryout there. And Corona happened, so that was canceled. And I just went to combines, and I knew that I got the opportunity to travel the world as well as see new soccer styles. So I think that's when I chose to be an international soccer player and hopefully return to the NWSL.
What was that feeling like of obviously getting that invite, even though obviously with COVID being a big factor in this previous year? But what was that like, obviously getting that invite?
I remember receiving the email because I didn't get drafted, and I remember receiving the email, and I was, oh my gosh, I immediately called my parents. I was so ecstatic because I came from Division II college. We didn't have our best season, so I was not even preparing myself to get an invite, and I just made it a highlight and I just sent it out, and receiving that email that I got invited to an open tryout, my heart just dropped. Everything I worked for, every adversity that I faced during the season, it just felt like it was all worth it.
What was it like going towards international and going to Puerto Rico?
Fortunately, Puerto Rico isn't that far from the US, so it was a better transition than going to Europe and places like that, but it's been amazing. We practice 2 times a day. Practices are hard. They push us to be our best. We you really reach your max, and it's just a great experience to be able to play in a different environment.
What was that feeling like the first time you got to sign your first professional contract coming out of college for Puerto Rico?
It was like a dream come true. I thought I was dreaming. I had to pinch myself multiple times. God was great. I just remember just working every day. I remember playing for teams in the summer. I remember just every day I was doing 2 days. I was doing shooting at 6 a.m. Then I would go and practice soccer afterwards. It was just all the hard work, all the tears, everything that I worked for was it finally paid off. God was great, and it was wonderful.
What was it like getting to put on the Puerto Rico SL jersey for the first time?
I was actually a little anxious. So I broke my wrist in one of the practices, and I wasn't sure if I could play with my brace on. And so we taped it with athletic tape. And so I was very anxious on, oh my gosh, if I fall or what if someone hits it? And I was just so nervous about getting hit. But once I put on the jersey, once I got an assist in the first 10 minutes of the game, I was ecstatic, and it was amazing.
What was it like? Obviously, whenever you were with St. Mary's, you had that blue jersey, but now you got to change into like a Carolina bluish color jersey.
Uh, it was cool. I mean, being blue is my favorite color, and still being able to wear some form of blue is pretty awesome to transition into.
What is a typical game day like for you?
So game day, I normally take a shower. I believe play clean, look clean, feel clean. Um, I wear a pink sliders and a yellow sports bra every game day. It's a little superstition I have, but I feel like I play better when I wear them. And then I also read Philippians 4:13 every time I go out in the field.
Do you have any other superstitions like having to put on your cleats right foot, left foot first and stuff like that?
No, I just have to put my right sock on, then my left sock on first. But for cleats, it's okay.
What are some of the things that you have accomplished so far as a professional soccer player?
As a professional soccer player, due to unfortunate circumstances, we just had our first game last week. And so I guess since it's my first professional game, it would be getting to assist as a defender. So I think that's pretty cool.
What was that moment like of getting to assist as a defender in your first professional game?
I it was just the perfect timing. I received a pass, and I was able to take the ball up the field. And I remember picking up my head and my forwards, and I'm pretty sure an an outside mid was making a run towards the box, and I was able to play a really good ball. And the forwards on our team are absolutely fantastic, and they just hit the ball in the net, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I did that, and my teammates are awesome, and it was just a great way to start the game.
Of course, with COVID being a big factor, how does it feel, obviously, when you're only there alone and obviously your family isn't really able to go to Puerto Rico to see you play?
My parents are actually coming in November, so that's awesome. But I'm definitely glad that FaceTime exists. I'm very close with my family. We talk every day, FaceTime or just texting. My family is a really big support in my soccer journey.
What are some of your future plans as you begin your professional soccer career?
My future plans are to keep playing. I would love to stay in Puerto Rico. I heard that there's a USL Super League, so there's more opportunities for women to play professionally in the US. And I think that's such an amazing thing, as well as maybe play in Europe, other places like that.
What is it like playing internationally versus obviously going to obviously play in the US with the NWSL?
Internationally, there's different soccer styles. I know in the US we play more physical. Definitely in Puerto Rico it's physical as well, but just the styles of play such as kick it and run or pass and move and things like that. So and obviously the language barrier, but pushing past that, it's a really cool experience.
Who are some people that you look up to in the soccer community?
I look up to Bethany Blanchard. So she is like me. She's kind of an underdog. I played at a small Division II college, and she played at an NAIA college, and she's currently playing in WSL. And I think that just proves to show if you work hard and believe in yourself, then all things are possible.
What is it like to obviously play with some of your teammates like Mercedes?
I absolutely love it. We have a really good connection on and off the field, and she was actually the one I assisted to. And just the energy that goes into the field, it goes off to the field. It's just a blessing to have.
What are some of your future plans as you begin your soccer career? And obviously, you try to get into the NWSL.
My future plans are to get more stats to my name, become a better player physically, technically, tactically, and be able to hopefully play on more international teams as well.
What is it like to see, obviously, some of your fans internationally cheer for you?
It's incredible. I sent links to my friends and my family, and after the game, just checking my phone and seeing all the text messages and just being able to call them and talk about the game is the best feeling in the world.
What is it like to obviously get to meet some of your fans internationally after the game to take photos and get autographs?
It's amazing. It's just an amazing opportunity to be able to have an effect on the community and to be able to inspire others.
What advice would you give future college soccer players looking to play college soccer?
Mine would be to control. You can control some things. Sometimes some things happen. I broke my wrist, and if I would have a bad attitude, I'm pretty sure I would be back home in Dallas. But it would be to keep working hard, control what you can control, and believe in yourself. Have confidence in your abilities, have confidence in yourself, and just really give it your all.
What advice would you give college soccer players looking to go professionally, whether it's the NWSL or going, of course, internationally like how you did?
My advice would be to really put yourself out there, make a highlight video if you have the resources. Go play in teams in the summer, go talk to coaches. You never know who has connections and who doesn't. In the soccer world, even though it may seem big, it is very small, and you never know who has connections or who might know a coach or who could put in a word for you.
What advice would you give future and current professional soccer players playing?
My advice, I guess, since I'm new, that's a good question. I'm not sure, but I would say to really focus on how your impact influences a community, either positive or negative, and to give your best even outside the field. You never know who's watching, and you could be an inspiring factor to someone you have no idea who's watching you.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So I have an Instagram called Ashley Doizer, and that's my main source of social media. I don't really have a Facebook or any other social media.
Thank you again, Ashley Doizer, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with Puerto Rio Sol.
Thank you for having me on. Good luck, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Ashley Doizer, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.